Did you know it takes about 17 trees to make a ton of paper? That's right, 17 full-grown, oxygen-producing, carbon-storing trees chopped down for each and every ton of paper produced. We're talking about a process that has a profound effect on our forests, our air, and ultimately our planet. It's a sobering thought, isn't it? But here's an uplifting one. Imagine the number of trees we could save by recycling paper. We've had a talk with some industry experts to understand the paper manufacturing process better. And what we've discovered might just surprise you. Imagine a forest brimming with tall, robust trees. These trees are the primary raw material for paper. The journey from tree to paper is quite fascinating. It starts with the felling of trees. These fallen trees are then transported to the paper mill. At the mill, the trees are stripped of their bark and chopped into small pieces. These pieces are then cooked in a chemical solution to create wood pulp. This pulp is a soupy, fibrous material that is the basis for paper. The pulp is washed and bleached, removing impurities and turning it a bright white. But here's the kicker. The pulp is then spread out on a wide mesh screen where it's pressed and dried to form sheets of paper. Sounds simple, but there's a lot more to it. Behind the scenes, this process is incredibly resource-intensive. You might not realize it, but the production of paper consumes a staggering amount of water, energy, and of course, trees. For instance, to produce just 1 ton of paper, it takes about 2 tons of trees. That's roughly the same weight as a small car. And then there's the water. It's estimated that producing a single sheet of paper requires about 3 gallons of water. Energy is another significant factor. The process of turning wood into pulp and then into paper requires a considerable amount of energy. In fact, the paper industry is one of the largest consumers of energy worldwide. And of course, all this energy consumption contributes to carbon emissions. This is not just about the resources consumed, but also about the waste generated. The paper industry produces a significant amount of waste, which ends up in landfills and contributes to pollution. As you can see, a lot goes into making that piece of paper you're holding. But what does all this paper production mean for our environment? Well, let's take a closer look at the environmental impact of paper manufacturing. First off, the elephant in the room, deforestation. Paper production is one of the major players in the deforestation game. Every year, millions of acres of forest are cut down to meet the world's paper needs. This not only takes away the habitats of countless wildlife species, but also reduces the amount of carbon dioxide our planet can absorb. Remember, trees are our best allies in the fight against climate change. Then there's the energy consumption. The paper manufacturing process is not just about chopping down trees. It involves a lot of energy-intensive steps like pulping, bleaching, and drying. It's estimated that for every ton of paper produced, approximately 4,000 kilowatt-hours of energy are consumed. That's enough to power an average American home for about 5 months, not to mention the water usage. Producing 1 sheet of paper requires roughly 3 gallons of water. Now multiply that by the billions of sheets produced daily worldwide. It's a staggering figure, right? But it doesn't stop there. The paper industry is also a significant contributor to pollution. The pulping and bleaching processes release harmful chemicals into the air and water. These chemicals, such as chlorine and sulfur dioxide, can have detrimental effects on both human health and the environment. And let's not forget the waste. Paper is the largest component of solid waste in landfills. When it decomposes, it releases methane, a greenhouse gas that's 25 times more potent than carbon dioxide. So the environmental impact of paper manufacturing is far-reaching. It's not just about the trees we lose in the process. It's about the energy consumed, the water used, the pollution generated, and the waste left behind. The impact is definitely more than just a few fallen trees. It's a wake-up call for us all to take paper recycling seriously. We need to rethink our consumption habits and make a conscious effort to reduce, reuse, and recycle. Because every sheet of paper saved is a step towards a more sustainable future. So, how can we reduce this environmental impact? One word: recycling. Now let's talk about some of the fantastic benefits of paper recycling. You might be surprised to know that recycling does more than just keep paper out of landfills. It actually has a profound effect on our environment and our resources. Firstly, paper recycling saves our forests. Every ton of paper that's recycled saves about 17 trees. That's right, 17! These trees are essential for absorbing carbon dioxide, providing habitats for wildlife, and maintaining the balance of our ecosystem. So, by recycling paper, we're not only reducing waste, but also helping to conserve our precious forests. Secondly, recycling paper reduces energy consumption. It takes significantly less energy to recycle paper than to create new paper from trees. To put it in perspective, recycling just 1 ton of paper can save enough energy to power an average home for 6 months. That's half a year of energy saved just by recycling. And let's not forget about pollution. Paper manufacturing is one of the largest industrial polluters, releasing harmful chemicals into our air and water. But here's the good news. Recycling paper helps to minimize this pollution. In fact, producing recycled paper creates 74% less air pollution and 35% less water pollution compared to making paper from virgin pulp. And that's a significant decrease. On top of all these environmental benefits, recycling paper also has economic advantages. It creates jobs in the recycling and manufacturing industries, boosts the economy, and reduces the cost of waste disposal. So, you see, paper recycling is not just about reducing waste. It's about preserving our environment, conserving our resources, and helping our economy. It's about making a difference, one piece of paper at a time. Recycling paper is clearly a win for the environment. Wondering how you can contribute to paper recycling? It's easier than you think. Let's dive into the simple steps on how to recycle paper right at home. First off, start by sorting your paper waste. Not all paper is created equal, and not all of it can be recycled. The basic rule of thumb is that if it's clean and dry, it's good to go. That includes office paper, newspapers, and cardboard. But keep away from things like tissue paper, paper towels, and paper products that have been soiled with food or oil. Next, think about how you're storing your paper waste. Ideally, you want to keep it dry and away from other types of waste. A dedicated bin or box works great for this. Remember to flatten cardboard boxes to save space. Once you've got a good amount of paper waste, it's time to decide where to take it. Many curbside recycling programs accept paper, so it could be as easy as taking out the trash. But if your community doesn't have a curbside program, don't worry. There are plenty of other options. Many grocery stores, schools, and community centers have paper recycling bins. Some office supply stores even offer paper recycling as a service. And there's one more thing you can do. Consider buying recycled paper products. That way, you're not just contributing to the recycling process, you're also supporting it. So let's recap. Sort your paper waste, store it properly, and find a place to take it. And don't forget to buy recycled paper products when you can. With these simple steps, you can start making a difference today. We've learned a lot about paper manufacturing and recycling today. Let's take a quick jaunt down memory lane, shall we? We started our journey of discovery by learning a fascinating fact about paper that piqued our interest. We were then privy to insights from industry experts who gave us an intimate look into the world of paper manufacturing. Next, we dove into the environmental impact of paper manufacturing, a topic that's more relevant today than ever before. The amount of energy and resources used in this process is staggering, and it's clear that we need to make changes to ensure a sustainable future. This led us to explore the benefits of paper recycling, a practice that not only saves trees, but also reduces the energy used in paper production by a whopping 70%. We also learned how to recycle paper at home, a simple yet effective way to contribute to the cause. Now, after this enlightening journey, we understand just how important paper recycling truly is. It's not just about saving trees. It's about preserving our environment and securing a sustainable future for generations to come. Each one of us has a role to play, and every single piece of paper we recycle makes a difference. Next time you hold a piece of paper, remember the journey it's been on and think about where it could go next. Recycle.